Any addiction needs to be fueled to survive, okay? One common thing about the anxiety disorders and anxiety attacks is when you think about the word anxiety, and you look it up, it's basically a fancy word for fear. Fear. Okay, so where does that fear come from? Well, we can look at the Bible, for instance. It doesn't come from God, because the Bible tells us in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, it says, God has not given us a spirit of fear. It's not come from God, but of power, but of love, and of a sound mind. God gives us a sound mind. But how is that mind kept sound? Because if we look at that scripture, we can see that if we're in fear, okay, we don't have a sound mind. If you're not in fear, your mind is sound. If you're not in control of your mind, that is not a good thing. You can't make any rational, logical judgments or arrive at conclusions that are valid because you don't have control of your mind. Okay, there are two ways that I'm going to show you that can eliminate your problem, or at least help you greatly. So Jesus said, let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Let it not be troubled, let it not be afraid. Well, who's the understood subject in that scripture? You and me. He says, you, let not your heart be troubled. You may not have control over that. This kind of fear and anxiety. Have you seen what's happening in the world? I mean, this country even, it's crazy. Okay, what can you do about any of that? The answer is nothing, okay? You can pray about it, okay? But there's not anything you can do about it. And dwelling on that and feeding yourself on that continually is one of the root causes, okay, of your anxiety. You're feeding on a spirit of fear. When you stop feeding it, it dies. Okay, and the big question is, well, how do I stop feeding that? Well, you have some control of that. Now, there are people, and I'm not belittling addiction at all, because like I said, I have a lot of friends. It's a terrible, horrible thing, and I've seen a lot of it. If you are feeding on these things, in particularly regularly, you are feeding your soul, your mind, your will, and emotions with this mental poison. It's just as bad a poison as if it was any drug or alcohol, nicotine, or anything like that. It's just as real and causes the symptoms that you're experiencing in anxiety. And it's not coming from God. I stopped that years ago, okay? And I have a lot of peace, okay? I am at peace. You say, oh, that's great. I wish I could be like that. Well, I'm giving you the answers why. You stop that first. You cut that out. You stop feeding on that mental poison, okay? And that is step number one.